Specifically with Jiu Jitsu hobbyists, I tend to see three really big problems.
I think it's dangerous to consider yourself a jiu-jitsu hobbyist. Here's why I say that, and why I think that I don't care if you train 1 day a week, you live on the mats and you're a full-time competitor, I don't care. If you train jiu-jitsu and you're engaged in rolling on some regularity, why I think you should view yourself as an athlete.
When a hobbyist says, I don't really want to put that much pressure on myself. Well, great, you're never going to be any good. So what you're telling me when you say you're a hobbyist is that you're not interested in getting better. You're telling me that you have a limit to what you think you're capable of, and you're going to stop when you get uncomfortable. You're not telling me anything about the nature of skill acquisition. You're telling me who you are.
There are going to be traps and issues that you're going to experience no matter where you're at.
The thing is like, do you want to be good at what you do? This is your standard of behavior.
You know that you're going to be in jiu-jitsu for a while, you need to be expecting that there are going to be different challenges at different points in your jiu-jitsu career. The main issue I see with these students when it comes to mindset is that there is only one right way to do things. Most students is that they say, nope, the way my coach says it is the right way. Everyone else that does it differently is dumb, stupid, or you follow some influence of somebody out there in the jiu-jitsu world and you're like, whatever that guy says is gospel and I'm only going to do that. I'm not going to listen to anything else. You're very kind of stuck in that mindset. And what that dictates is that, hey, I train for self-defense and I'm older and I want to be a little bit more passive. And I'm talking about all these things in my training, and that's kind of my mindset because that's what my coaches taught me. Then your training is going to be super reactive based.
Learning self-defense that's going to work is kind of a hoax. What works is learning the combat sports and then taking a weekend clinic in self-defense moves. I can take a guy who has done one of the combat sports, particularly I'm going to say the jiu-jitsu, for 10 years, and in a weekend clinic, he'll be able to perform the defense stuff very well. But if you've trained 10 years in self-defense, I can't stick you in a combat sport, a competition match, and expect you to win. The timing against real resistance and your peers is going to come from rolling. And when I say sport, I don't necessarily mean IBJJF rules or Chuck's Backyard Grapple Off or amateur MMA rules or pro MMA rules. I mean the sport of two humans agreeing on some man-made rules so we don't maim each other and fighting it out. That's what is the laboratory of martial arts. So if I try to grab Melissa, who doesn't do self-defense, and I'm trying stuff, I'm pretty much sure that she doesn't need much of a self-defense course. What she really needs is to learn the art of jiu-jitsu.
Is there advice you would give for hobbyists to get better?
I mean, just not every round has to be a fight to the death, you know? Sure. I feel like you're going to get injured, burnt out that way, and you're not going to learn as much.
Guy that tells you to push the pace and surrender nothing and don't let the guard pass happen, well, then you're going to be very aggressive and you're going to push, you're going to try to attack, and you're going to give up nothing. You're going to try to escape in the first 2 or 3 seconds. They have zero middle gear.
I think being consistent, like find a schedule that you can consistently train. Maybe it's like, 3-4 times a week or even a little bit less. Just be consistent over the years. I think too often people are like, oh, I want to get really good really fast. And it's like, definitely takes a long time to get to where you want to be.
If you train 2 days a week, you're going to be, how good can you get in 2 days a week? Or if you want to be a world beater, you're going to have to use most of your life to do it. And so, again, I'm going to try to help you. I'm going to try to design practices to make you more skillful. 2 days a week, I'm going to try to make you the best 2 day a week on planet Earth. You know what I mean? If you're a world beater, I'm going to try to get you there. But again, we can't draw these fucking fake lines. I'd rather someone come say, hey coach, I only got 2 days a week. How good can I be in 2 days a week? Well, how consistently can you train 2 days a week? And we'll see how far you go, but you're probably going to only focus on your friends you're training with in here. You're probably not going to go out there and compete.
I like what I like, and I cannot do anything that I don't like.
Really want to impress you with like their technical side. They're a big fan. They've been watching your DVDs. Like, what do you do with a guy like that?
I make a complete joke out of the role. Give them the pass, mess with them, do stupid shit, like rob them of the realness of it. Because it's stupid. I'm not going to roll hard with strangers. I feel like you should roll with a circle of people you trust. Injuries happen rolling hard with strangers, because that's the same way you get injured in competition, because you don't have that relationship with them.
And I should also mention, that's probably not a good way to impress somebody's bike, just going ape shit, going 100%.
Oh yeah, that's not at all.
I think the beauty of jiu-jitsu is like the camaraderie of it. Like as you get to know each other, there's like technical, like different ideas you have and all that.
If you're not interested in something, it's going to be very hard for you to stick with it. Don't take that for ignoring fundamentals because they seem boring. But I'm a big fan of exploring and finding out the things that you like. Don't solidify your game too early on in your career. Sometimes you can become close-minded and say, nope, I've already found my game. I like what I like, and it's just that. And you kind of cross your arms and you sit here and you're like, all these stupid leg lockers, all these guys that invert, it's so dumb. I'm never going to do that. I like what I like. And it's kind of like that smug, more or less attitude. I did the same thing, man. I remember when I was around a purple belt, I was just like someone, if I saw them do something that was different from me, I was like, I'll never be able to do that. I like what I like. They like what they like, but mine's probably better. They get very content in their jiu-jitsu. They don't like to push outside of that comfort zone. I encourage you to start to maybe expand a little bit more. Can't skip consuming content. That's some of the best piece of advice I ever got. Sometimes people say, people are long-winded and they overtalk and they explain too much. But the thing is that you will never know that detail unless someone tells you. Is there efficient ways to tell you things? Absolutely. But you can't skip learning content. If you just skip and you only see a picture book and no one explains the details of everything in the picture book, you are missing content. Yes, you can speed things up, you can slow things down, but you can never skip learning.
So it's just a mental shift. I'm just thinking about this because I see this term hobbyist around, and a lot of times when I get messages from you guys, it'll be just a hobbyist. I'm just a hobbyist. I think it's a dangerous thing because I think it allows you to be kind of like half in, half out. And I think that's where things can get really dangerous. I remember years ago, there was I was on a canyoning trip and we were climbing up the side of this cliff, and then we're jumping down into these little crevices like of water. And on the sides are these craggy rocks. And so if you don't commit to the jump, you're gonna get hurt. And the jumps were pretty substantial. And I remember the guide that was taking us through, he said, listen, if you're gonna jump 100%. He said, but if you're not ready to jump, don't halfway do it, because that's when a lot of times people get hurt.